Good morning. Yesterday, we saw how the input impedance and the output impedance behaves with the closed loop amplifier, as in whether it gets increased or decreased and by what amount. So we saw 4 cases, all ideal for 4 different kinds of amplifiers. Then we also did this. So what if we have a non-ideal feedback path, which is practically the case. So none of the feedback paths are ideal. So it will have some resistors associated with it. But whatever we did earlier was assuming that the feedback path was ideal. But then we know that actually the feedback path is not ideal. So what do? We make the feedback path ideal by shifting any loading effects, that is by shifting these resistors Ry and Rx on the amplifier side, right? By shifting them on the amplifier side, we have made the feedback path ideal. So only when the feedback path is ideal, we can apply these formulas that we have derived earlier in order to calculate the closed loop and the closed loop output and input impedances as well as gain. Okay, so now we were trying to see if we can identify what kind of a feedback is in the following circuits. So this is a simple non-inverting amplifier, right, with the feedback resistor R2 and the input resistor R1. So now if this op-amp is ideal in all respects, that is if this op-amp has infinite gain, infinite input impedance, zero output impedance. In that case, the gain V0 by Vn is given as 1 plus R2 by R1, which we have derived. We have also derived the gain V0 by Vi when the op-amp is ideal in all respects except for the gain. When the gain of the op-amp is not equal to infinite, then we have derived an expression for that. And we see that when the open loop gain of the op-amp A is finite, then V0 by Vi is less than 1 plus R2 by R1, right? Now, similarly, if we consider other non-ideal effects like finite input impedance and finite output impedance, then obviously the gain V0 by Vin now decreases much further. We'll do an example for that. But before that, now we'll try to identify what is the kind of feedback this circuit has. Okay, now, since this is the first circuit, let's try to draw a block diagram so that it's easy for us to identify what kind of a feedback it is. Okay. Okay, so now let me try to put this circuit a little differently. So now here is an op-amp, right? So positive, you're giving it to Vin, and the negative, you're feeding it back. So this is V0, and this will be R2, and this will be R1. So is this circuit similar to the previous circuit? Are these two circuits same or are they different? Can you identify if these two circuits are same? Can I get some response in the chat box? Okay, yes. What about the rest of you? Okay, so they're the same circuit, right? I've just drawn it a little differently. So yeah, again, I'm repeating. I request all of you to concentrate because this topic, let's go slowly because it's not very easy to understand, right? It's not very straightforward. So you have to really concentrate to understand what is happening. So all of you, please concentrate. Okay, so now let's draw a block diagram of this. So this is basically an op-amp. Okay, so this is basically an op-amp. Let this have a finite gain A and let this have a finite input impedance Ri and let this have a finite output impedance R0. So now how do we represent this amplifier? Something like this, right? Because this has two inputs. Okay, so this has a finite input impedance. So this is amplified gain times. Okay, so this is amplified gain times. So let this voltage be Vi. So this is amplified A times Vi. So now this has a finite output impedance R0. Okay, and one of this is grounded. Okay, this doesn't have two terminals. So basically here you're taking the output here with respect to ground. Correct? So therefore let us ground one of the terminals. This is nothing but the internal of the op-amp that I have drawn. So this is positive terminal, this is negative terminal. So this is how a non-ideal op-amp looks like. When I say non-ideal, an op-amp with finite gain A, finite input impedance Ri and finite output impedance R0. Is this clear to all of you? Any doubts so far? So now let's connect a load here. Okay, let's connect a load RL. So now how does this look? You have a load between V0 and ground, right? And we'll call this as RL. Is it clear? Now, we are taking the part of the output voltage and feeding this back to the input. I will just draw this part of the circuit, okay? Let me just draw this part of the circuit. So how does this circuit look like to you? How does that circuit look like? You have V0, okay? And then you have R2, and then you have R1. You have an R2 here. You have an R1 here. And this is fed back to the inverting terminal of the amplifier. Correct? So basically, this is an voltage divider. Right? Is this clear to all of you so far? Is this clear to all of you? Okay. So now, how do we represent that voltage divider here? So we have a circuit here. So we are taking this output voltage, the entire output voltage. So we have a resistor R2 here, and we have a resistor R1 here, right? R1 is grounded. And whatever voltage is across R1, we are feeding it back, right? Whatever voltage is across R1, we are feeding it back. So how are we feeding it back? So now let this be equal to RS. RS is the resistance of this voltage source, right? RS is the resistance of this voltage source. So you have V in, which is given here, correct? So now since you're feeding it back, basically what you're doing is you are changing the voltage. So let me call this as Vs, our earlier convention. So now this will be Vs, correct? Now this will be V in and this will be Vf. Is it clear to all of you? I've just drawn the block diagram of this, that's all. So basically you have a voltage amplifier here, okay, which shows all the non-ideal parameters. So here you're taking the output voltage, you're sensing the output voltage, and then you're feeding a part of the output voltage back to the input, right? That's what I have represented here. So now what do you think, what kind of a feedback is this? Can
Series.
you realize? So you're sensing the output voltage. So when you take the output from the same point at which you're sampling the output voltage, that means you're sensing the output voltage. So the first term, as we have discussed yesterday, is nothing but voltage. So now it should be either voltage series or it should be voltage shunt. The next thing that we should look for is whether we are feeding back current or voltage. So another hint here is, all of you listen carefully. Another hint here is, if you're feeding back something across a resistor, then you're always feeding back voltage. Okay, if you're feeding back something through a resistor, then you're feeding back current. So now as you can see, you're feeding back something across a resistor now, right? So therefore you're feeding back voltage. So when you're feeding back voltage, this is nothing but voltage series feedback, right? So now this voltage is VF, this voltage is VS. Therefore, you can also represent the input to the op-amp now as, if this is Vin, okay, if this is Vin, you can also represent Vin as Vs minus Vf. So there are two things you have to check now. So the first one is what you're sensing at the output. So I am repeating this again and again because this is important. So if you're taking the output directly from the place at which you're sampling the voltage, then you're definitely feeding back voltage, right? So the first term you can fix. If you're sensing something from a place where you're not sampling the output voltage, then it will be current at the output. We'll see that example also. Second thing is, if you're feeding back something across a resistor, then you're feeding back voltage, and therefore you will be able to represent voltage in this form. Okay. If you're feeding back something through a resistor, then it will definitely be current, and you will be able to represent current in this form. So I repeat again. So what are the things that you should look for? The point at which you're sampling the output, whether is it the same place at which you're sampling the output voltage or not. The second thing is whether you're feeding back something across the resistor or through a resistor. So is this much clear? So now let's go and check other circuits. Then I think you'll be comfortable with identifying what kind of a feedback it is. Is this much clear to all of you? Is it clear? We are still trying to identify, we are not solving any problems yet. Okay, we are still trying to identify what kind of a feedback. Because that is the most important thing. Only when you identify the type of feedback, you'll be able to solve the problem. Okay, the next circuit. We'll do another op-amp circuit itself. Is this circuit familiar? Correct. It's an inverting amplifier using op-amp. Okay. So now you will have to try to analyze and tell me what kind of a feedback is this. Okay, now I'll ask you. You try to analyze first, then I'll ask the person who has to say what kind of a feedback is this. So first check the point at which you're sampling the output in order to be fed back. Next, check whether you're feeding back current or voltage, as in whether you're feeding back something through a resistor or across a resistor, right? And then check if you can represent the voltage Vs. Okay, let me make this as Vs. Okay, so if Vs can be represented as V in plus Vf, or if Is can be represented as I in plus If. So if this is Vs, this will be your Is. Okay, assume the op-amp is non-ideal, as in it has a finite A, finite Rn, and finite Rout. Okay, let's analyze it now. Okay, so what's the point at which you're sampling the output? You're sampling the output here, right? You're sampling the output at this point, right? And then there is also some feedback from the same point, right? So as I told you earlier, if you're taking a feedback from the output at the same place where you're sampling the output voltage, then the first term will be voltage, right? It won't be current. So if you're sampling the output voltage for feedback at the same point where you're sampling the output voltage, okay, so then the first term will be voltage. It will not be current, right? So therefore, the first term is voltage. So now how are you feeding it back? So now, due to this voltage V naught, there is a current I through this resistor, and this current is fed back, right? So you're not feeding back anything across a resistor here. You're feeding back the current through the resistor, right? So since you're feeding back current, it is fed back in shunt, right? So therefore, this is voltage shunt feedback. Also, you can see that you can express now as Is is equal to If plus In. Correct? If you apply a KCL at this point, you can express Is is equal to If plus In. Is it clear? Whereas, do you think you can express now Vs is equal to Vf plus Vn? No, you cannot, because this is always grounded. The voltage at this point is not at all changing. Correct? So therefore, you cannot express Vs as Vf plus Vn. Is it clear? So now, even if you're not able to identify at this stage, it's okay, because you will need some practice to identify it correctly. Okay, once we do another couple of circuits, I'm sure you'll be able to understand how to identify. Now, is the explanation for this circuit clear, or do you have any doubts in this? Can you please put up your answer in the chat box? Do you have any doubts?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Like in which case can we say it's current as the first word, ma'am? Like
We'll do that. We'll do
yes.
that. We'll do that circuit, okay? Okay, so next we'll go to the next circuit, okay? We'll go to the next circuit. Please, I want all of you to work out, please. When I ask you, even if you're not correct also, it's okay. You should try to answer at least. So then only you'll come to know. Okay, let's go to the next circuit. The next circuit is this. Okay, so this is an amplifier using BJT. Okay, so this is an amplifier circuit using BJT. So now the first word is voltage because you're taking which is the feedback resistor here. The feedback resistor is R2 because that is what is connecting the output to the input, right? So in this case, the feedback resistor here is R2. Feedback resistor is R2. Okay. So the first word is voltage because you're taking the feedback directly from the same point at which you're sampling the voltage. So now, are you feeding something through a resistor or across a resistor? So you're feeding the current I through this resistor, right? Therefore, this is also voltage shunt. And as you can see here, you can say here IS is equal to the feedback current, which is this feedback current plus the input current. You can write at this point IS is equal to the feedback current plus the input current, while you cannot write Vs is equal to Vin plus Vf because there is no feedback voltage at all because the other terminal of this amplifier is grounded. So what's the input to this amplifier? It is nothing but VBE, right? Small signal VBE. So one terminal is grounded. So this voltage, since this voltage, one voltage is not changing, you cannot express Vs is equal to Vin plus Vf. We saw the same thing even here, right? So this was grounded. So therefore you cannot express Vs is equal to Vn plus Vf. So therefore this feedback is voltage shunt feedback only because you're sampling this at the same point where you're taking the output voltage and what you're feeding back is something through a resistor, which is current. And also you can express current in this form and not voltage. Why cannot you express voltage in this form? Because one terminal is already grounded. There's no voltage that is changing. Is this clear? So most of you, I think, got it right. Can you help us draw a block diagram for the circuit? Yes, definitely we can do. But then I want you to try this out yourself. Okay, try this out yourself. Okay, we can do it when we'll anyway do it when we are solving problems. So you can check your answers there. Chinmaya, is that fine? Yeah. So now we'll go for the next circuit. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, Amol.
Doesn't the direction of the feedback current matter?
Yes, but it's okay. Even if it's minus IF is also it's okay. As long as you are able to express this case at this point KCL using KCL, it's fine. This I think the directions will be more clear when we solve the problems. We'll do it anyway in probably next class or next to next. Okay. When we do it with numbers, as in when I give you the resistor values, VCC and all that, then I think this feedback current and all, the concept of that will be more clear. Okay. Now we'll go to the next circuit. Okay, so the next circuit will be this. I asked you to think about it. None of you came back, so we'll do it here. This will be RD. This will be RS. Okay. This will be Vs. This will be V naught. Now this circuit has a feedback. Why is it called a common source amplifier with degeneration resistor? So degenerate is decrease gain, right? So basically this resistor RS is decreasing the gain of the common source amplifier. That's why it's called as a degeneration resistor. And we also saw that this resistor RS increases the stability. So therefore here this is the feedback resistor. The resistor RS is the feedback resistor. Can you try and find out now what kind of a feedback is this? Current series. Chinmaya says current series. Okay. So Anup and Chinmaya are right. This is not voltage series. Now look, this is the place at which you're taking the output voltage, right? So now this is the place at which you're taking the output voltage. Now I told you RS is the feedback resistor. The voltage across RS is fed back to Vs, right? So this is not the same place from which you're sampling the output voltage to be fed back to the input. This is the place at which you're sampling the output voltage, but you're not taking a feedback directly from here and feeding it back to the input. So the feedback is taken from some other place other than the place where you're actually sampling the output voltage. So the first term is not voltage, it is current. Right? So due to this output voltage, I mean, there is some current flowing through RS, which develops some voltage across RS, and that is being fed back. Right? So the first term here is current because you're sampling current at the output and not voltage. So how can you say that? Because you're not directly sampling anything from this point. You're sampling something across the resistor RS and you're not taking the output voltage here, right? You're not taking the output voltage here. The output voltage is sampled here, whereas the voltage across RS is fed back to the input. So the first term is not voltage, it is current. And the second term is correct. You're feeding back something in series because here you can express Vs is equal to, let's call this as Vin. The input voltage is VGS, right? So the input voltage here is VGS, which is Vin plus Vf, where Vf is the voltage across Rs. Where Vf is the voltage across Rs. So therefore, we can say Vs is equal to Vin plus Vf. Or in other words, the input voltage Vin is equal to VGS, which is nothing but Vg minus Vs. V at source is nothing but Vf, because we are calling Vf as a voltage across this Rs. So this is a current series feedback. Okay, we'll do one more circuit and then we'll go ahead solving the problems. Okay, the circuit that I'm going to write next might look big, but I'm not asking you to solve the circuit. I'm just asking you the kind of feedback. That's all. Okay. So it's basically you're cascading two or more amplifiers here. This is the output voltage of the first stage. So let me call this Vs, and this is the output voltage of the first stage. Okay, and the output voltage of this is fed as an input to the next stage. So let me name the resistors R1, R2, R3. So I hope this is clear. Is this clear? Or should I draw it in the next slide? Are you able to make out the points at which the output is taken? Among current series, okay, current shunt. Okay, at least, the first word is common. No, all of you understand that we are not sampling the output voltage, but output current. So that's clear because we are not sampling anything from this point, right? We are not sampling anything from this point. So therefore, we are not sampling the output voltage, but we are sampling the output current. So the first term is clear. So it is current. Okay, now we'll have to see if it is series or shunt. Now here, are you feeding back something through a resistor back to the input or across a resistor back to the input? Of course, you're feeding back current through RF2, which is the feedback resistor, but this is not fed back to the input. So what is being fed back here is nothing but the voltage across RF3. Are you able to get this? We are not feeding back current through RF2 to the input, whereas the current through RF2 is coming here. It's not going to the input, right? But what are we feeding back at the input? We are feeding back the voltage across RF3. Do you get it? Therefore, we can express V in. V in here is nothing but AC VBE, right? V in here is nothing but AC VBE. So that can be expressed as Vs minus the voltage across RF3. So voltage here can be expressed as V in minus Vf. Whereas if Vs is the input, then let's say the current flowing through this is Is. Can you express Is here as I in minus If? The current at the input here, can you express it as I in minus If? No, you cannot express it, right? While you can express only the voltage at this point, Vs minus Vf is equal to Va. So therefore, you will have to try and write this equation at the input. Do you get it? Here you're feeding back the voltage across RF3. So therefore, you're feeding back voltage, which is done in series. So this is current series feedback. It's not current shunt because you're not feeding back current to the input. So I think all of you will actually be familiar with this. I just want to bring this up here because it's very important that you know it before we start solving problems. Okay. So now here, next when we are solving problems, we know that definitely in a couple of problems we'll use amplifiers, op-amp, right? So far we have studied op-amp with infinite input impedance and zero output impedance, an ideal op-amp only. But then op-amp that we are going to use now will have a finite gain, a finite input impedance, and a finite output impedance. So now, suppose say I have an voltage source Vs. So let this be the resistance of the voltage source. So this is an op-amp now, right? So this is an op-amp. So now you will have, this is the input impedance. So now this will be amplified gain times Vi, right? So if this is Vi, that will be amplified gain times Vi. and this is the output impedance of the amplifier, and this is delivered to the load. Okay, so we call this as V0. Now this is clear, right? So since your op-amp is a single-ended output, this will be at ground, right? So now, can you tell me if V0 by Vs is equal to this A? Do you think V0 by Vs now is equal to this A? Is the gain of the circuit? Is the gain of the circuit? Okay, this circuit. Do you think is that equal to A? So if I give an input Vs, say 1 millivolt here, will I get V0 is equal to A times 1 millivolt? Do you think that will happen?
No, less only.
No, right? It will not happen. So can you tell me what is the case in which this will hold good?
When Rs equal to 0.
Correct. So this will hold good when Rs is equal to 0 and RL is equal to infinite, right? So when Rs is equal to 0, so the entire Vs will fall across Ri, right? That will get amplified. When RL is equal to infinite, this entire voltage that is amplified, you can take across these two terminals with load infinite. Then you can write V0 is equal to A times 1 millivolt. Correct? So there is another case also in which this will happen. So the second case is when Ri is equal to infinite and R0 is equal to 0. When Ri is equal to infinite, this entire voltage will now fall across these two terminals. That is going to get amplified. And since R0 is equal to 0, this entire voltage that is amplified will be across the load. But in a practical situation, you will have both RSRI and R0RL, and therefore now the gain of this is an open loop amplifier itself, right? We have not given any feedback here. So the gain of this open loop amplifier Vs by V0 will not be equal to A. This is a very common mistake that many students make in the exam, right? So the open loop gain of this amplifier V0 by Vs now is not equal to A. It will be much less than A that you should calculate. So what do you think will be the gain of this open loop amplifier now? What will be V0 by Vs equal to? First, you have to find out what is Vi, right? First, you find out what is V0 by Vi. Then multiply that by A. Then this will get divided again between R0 and RL. Correct? Are you able to understand this? Is it clear to all of you? In a practical case, even though when I say the open loop gain of the amplifier is A, okay, so this gain V0 by Vs is not equal to A. So the gain that will be given in the problem is the gain under ideal conditions. That is this gain. This is the gain that will be given in the problems. So you directly take that. Generally students, what they do is they directly take this gain as the open loop gain of the amplifier and then try to solve for RIF, ROF and AF. You shouldn't do that. You have to find out what is V0 by Vs and use that as the open loop gain in order to solve for AF, RIF and ROF. Of course, tomorrow when we start solving problems, we'll do this again and continue. But then I want all of you to be aware of this. Is it clear? Okay, we'll stop here. So I'll